Hi, I'm Zoe, and welcome back to my channel. In my first video, I talked a little bit about how I started with manifestation when I was approximately 14 years old. And, you know, I had good results, but I really just wanted to be a child again. Anyway, um, to make a long story short, because I'm going to try to keep this video to just a few minutes, um, it was really pain that brought me back. And most life, I've been with a direct selling company for 30 plus years. Um, but I always thought that things, really bad things, happen to other people. And so um, the idea that something really bad could happen to me just wasn't, it just wasn't on my radar. Anyway, I think I mentioned a couple of things happened. One, I had a stroke, which was totally, for me, out of the blue. And then my nephew, who was 39 years old, had a stroke. And 2 months later, um, based on a blood clot, and um, that's another talk show. He was gone, and he was my sister's only child. I wasn't driving because of my stroke, and for the first time in my life had turned upside down, and my direct sales business began to go down because I didn't realize how much how I was in it. And when I wasn't able to hold meetings, and at this point they were pretty much virtual meetings, but I still wasn't able to hold them like I had been holding them. And I just, I was in a lot of pain. And truthfully, I'm just starting to come out of that pain. Anyway, um, I really just I wanted my life back. And what I realized though was that um, my life had been, I don't want to call it a sham, but um, I had been going along like most people, thinking that life happened to other people, and some people were blessed and some people weren't. Typical. I realized as I was in this pain that I did have some control. Um, and I needed to find it. And I realized too that I didn't want to go out of this life feeling like I just came in and I just went out and I didn't make much of a difference. And so I began to watch YouTube videos. I mean, some I threw out, but some made a lot of sense. And then I went back to some of the books that I had read. I just decided that, okay, I'm going to really delve in because I'm not getting any younger and bad things can happen to anybody. And so, therefore, I needed to start to take some control over my life. So, um, I began to realize too that some of the things that I said to myself weren't the world's most positive. um, I really realized that I was not, that I was kind of negative. um, and the things that I said to myself, I wouldn't say to anybody. I also realized what a tremendous amount of pain I was in. And so every morning when I woke up, I would watch YouTube videos. I started to do some manifestation techniques. I started to tap. Um, I was looking for anything that would help me out of this pain. So, what I realized though, one was gratitude. And I'm not talking about that fake sort of gratitude, just the things that I want you to remember this too, that whatever situation you're in, there's somebody who's in a worse one. And so I began to think about the things that I was grateful for. Um, my sister, the one who lost the son, and that was her only child, um, and I became closer. I began to think about things like I live in a climate controlled environment. Um, I have people who care about me, just a number of things. And I would encourage you to think of 3 to 5 things on a daily basis, at least, that make you full to be who you are. Okay. Even though there may be a ton of things that you don't have in the 3D right now, but think about the things that you do have. I learned not to make decisions when I was unhappy, when I wasn't feeling good about things. Um, I learned to be more conscious about and deliberate about what I was thinking and what I was saying. And what I learned and what I want to teach anybody who wants to come out and live the life that they want to live is one that we are responsible. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean that we have some things, as a rule, to unlearn. When we start to be grateful for what we have, when we start to um, talk more nicely to us, when we allow ourselves to dream, then life begins to turn around. So that's all I wanted to say for today. I do plan to do 2 to 3 videos per week in on my YouTube page. There's information about how to get a hold of me and really where we go from here. Thanks.